Hello everybody, today is August 4th. This is your Zone 3B garden update. Yeah, so everything's just really doing pretty good this year, despite the drought that we're in. I've got a lot of squash and even pumpkins here, these little, I think these are weeby. I've got some watermelon and butternut. Spaghetti. All kinds of stuff in here. So this one's doing really good. This is a new garden bed I put on top of my compost pile from last year, so looking pretty good. I got these grow bags here that these stupid flea beetles just love this asylum, and I don't know, the baskets that I got that are off the ground are doing really good with the asylum, but not these. But the celosia and whatever these other ones are, I completely forget. Some of y'all might know what they are, but yeah, looking pretty good. A little color to the yard. And my corn is doing okay. I mean, this is my first time growing this particular breed. It's like a really short season. I think it's called Catalyst XR. And I'm getting good pollination. The silk here is turning nice and bronze, so that's the sign that it's been pollinated. I've been watering it a lot. It sure doesn't look like it. It just looks kind of withered, but it's hanging in there. So yeah, the corn is doing pretty good in this spot. And all my red cabbage that I harvested out of here, I replaced with broccoli. And despite all my efforts of spraying, I've been using neem oil. There's a little SOB right there. There we go, that little black sucker, that's a flea beetle. They're just wiping these things out, man. All those holes. Oh, I got some other stuff that I'm going to be spraying. And you see that little white, oh God, those things irritate me. And those are the ones that spooge out a little seed on the bottom of the leaf, and then it turns into a caterpillar. So that's going to be treated with BT. It looks like I'm just going to be spraying all kinds of goodies on here. And the basil's looking good. These cucumbers are really finally starting to grow, but they're just so small. I know the pickling cucumbers I got up at the farm are really small too, but they ripen so fast. My pole beans have been producing really well. Just a ton of them there hanging. And but I think this is just from not being watered enough. As much, I water this bed probably twice a day, but it just dries out so quick. And tons of peppers. I've got a lot formed already. They're just still kind of small. I haven't really made too many pepper harvests yet. But yeah, just tons of jalapenos here growing. And then all the bells. The bells are getting some dark spots here. I'll show you one here. Like this one's completely dark because last time I started seeing this, I noticed that it was online. You could find some information on it, and it basically happens because of temperature extremes, which we've had plenty of. So they're definitely not green, but they'll still taste good. I'll show my little herb garden here for my wife. Rosemary and thyme, a few different kinds of mint, Last little bit of cilantro. I got to find a spot to plant more. Some parsley. I got some sage in here. And celery, which we've been taking a lot of, making little chicken salads and this and that. And my perimeter here of the house, I got corn growing, looking really good. And I intermixed marigolds just for some color. I did have some psyllium in there, which keeps getting just wrecked by those flea beetles, which is a huge bummer because I love that stuff. But it is what it is. I don't know why my focus, whatever. But yeah, so I got this corn here all along the perimeter. And, you know, it's doing about the same as last year. There's this little spots that don't get much sun. You know, they're mainly just going to be ornamental, I guess. But let's keep going around here, show the rest of this. So like here's one of the baskets of psyllium, and you know, it's doing really well. It's got such a strong fragrance and just smells amazing. And in this bed, it's just loaded with all kinds of stuff. The cucumbers are really producing. There's some outer damage, I'm guessing weather related, on several of them. I don't notice that it affects the flavor or anything, but it is kind of disheartening. And my little bit of zucchini I got here is producing definitely more than I'll ever need. I got a bunch of broccoli and cauliflower and cabbage seedlings that I've been trying to find spots for. And here was a little open spot. I thought, well, I'll throw one in there. So these peppers here, I'm not exactly sure what they are yet. Looks like chilies. These peppers, if you've watched any of my previous videos, they were really super damaged by these late frosts that we got, and I wasn't expecting them to do anything, to be honest, and they're looking really great. So if they produce late, that's fine. Over here I got some habaneros, always an important part of any garden, I think. And then these Asian eggplants with the spiky leaves, as you can see, they're doing really good. No eggplants yet, but I got some nice blooms. And my okra doing fantastic. First time ever growing okra. And you know, here's one. Kind of interesting how they produce. I've never had them get this far, so you know, they get this flower bloom here, and then they produce okra from the lower stems. So this flower, I guess, you know, once it gets pollinated, then it produces an okra down in there. So it's kind of cool. Normally, like on squash and stuff like that, the flower itself is the fruit. So that's not what I see here. And the peas are getting to be done, which I'm probably gonna have to hope they get done pretty soon, even though I don't want them to be done, but I want to tear them off these tomato cages so that my tomatoes can really start producing better, because they're completely blocked by all the peas here. I don't think I'll do that again. I mean, it turned out okay, but we'll just kind of have to see. I mean, the end of August, middle of August to end of August is when tomatoes start to ripen up here. So we'll see if this had a detrimental impact on them. But I'm just trying to use as much space as I can. And all my potatoes I harvested out. This was all full of potatoes, and I planted a bunch of lettuce, some iceberg, and some butter crunch. And in the few spots I had kind of left over, I planted more broccoli. There should be enough time. It's like 52 days for this broccoli, so we'll see how it goes. My sweet mini peppers. This spot, I've put so much compost down, and I don't know why. It just seems like things just really don't go all that great. I mean, it's kind of yellow, but you just keep hammering away at it, and you hope that someday it'll just be great, you know. So I'm not giving up, and I should have enough compost to, you know, fill in some more. I put new compost all the way up to here, and I need to go all the way over there. I planted some bush beans here, and these are finally coming up. I should have some beans before freeze out. Brussels sprouts. I don't usually need too many of those, but I definitely like to have them. My raspberry's doing really good. It's the first year producing, and we've been getting a few here and there. But next year, with all these canes that came up, I'm expecting a lot next year. This spot here, the cabbage, I've gotten most of the good stuff out, and I'm probably going to just tear it all completely out and replant. There's this whole section I plan on redoing. I've been working on it, clearing out a bunch of rocks and stuff that were here. I got this is my first compost pile of the year, and it's looking like it's pretty much done. I mean, it's amazing. I don't see anything chunky in there. So I think it's pretty much ready to go on the ground. But what I got to do is finish pulling a bunch of these rocks out, and I plan on just kind of dumping it in this whole area so that I got this like corner here. I'm not sure what I was thinking. Next year I could have this whole corner be like squash or some kind of vining, but one of the problems is I've got these blueberries here that I'd like to really tend to and take care of, even though they're really not producing all that great. I got my fingers crossed on them. But yeah, so like this whole area here, I'd like to dump all that compost and just, you know, expand that little area of the garden. Yeah. Just turn around here to this guy. My carrots are doing really well. I'm working on thinning them. Kind of a never-ending process. Here I got some bok choy, which despite covering, as you can see, those stupid little flea beetles penetrated it. And now I gotta get in here and deal with that. Spray them again. But again, my wife loves bok choy, and normally it's something that just gets wasted here by those flea beetles. There's really no hope. I mean, they're just all over this thing trying to get in there. Gotta hate those things. Here's some carrots that are doing pretty good. Some more Brussels sprouts. Another pepper, bunch of really awesome lettuce that's way too packed together, but it's still doing good. Some really hot peppers. These are I thought they were sweet peppers, and one turned red, and the kids were like, "Oh, look, a pepper, Papa. Can we eat it? It's not spicy." And I was like, "Oh, let me see." I took a bite of it, and it was like instant fire. My whole head turned red, and I couldn't spit it out fast enough. But here's my beets coming up. So yeah, this garden bed's doing pretty good. And over here I planted some more broccoli. Again, getting slaughtered by those stupid flea beetles. All this cauliflower here is looking nice. Pretty soon this is all going to come out. Yeah, here's a nice head in there. So yeah, cauliflower pretty much goes with anything if you ask me. Some more broccoli in there. A little here and there. And my annual flower garden. First time having this. It's not bad. It's turned out to be a lot more work than I think it's worth it. I've got this other little flower bed back over here, which I think I'm just going to kind of stick with that being the flower bed. And then I'll just turn this into food. Next year, since I got all these trees cut out now, you know, the sun can actually get in here. So, yeah, this will be food next year. My strawberries are making babies, and then they're pretty much done. I haven't had a strawberry in quite some time. And actually, the amount of babies they're producing, and I don't know if it has to do with the dryness of everything. I gotta admit, I probably don't water this the way I should compared to some other stuff, just because it's already given me everything I needed. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So y'all take care. Have a good one.